let's try this again. Take two.
Take two.
And action. Welcome everybody to the I guess season 2, or I guess the continuation of the What If podcast. I am your lovely, magnanimous host, Ugo. And this week I bring on with me a dear friend of mine, Mr. Nicholous Walker. Nicholous, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Nick. So, yeah, this is Nicholous Walker. He's, Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a pretty normal guy. Big fan of...
Normal.
Normal.
Okay.
Very opinionated. That's probably the best way to say it. Big fan of movies and comics, all things nerd. Things that are cool now. And especially video games. And unfortunately, a little sad today.
Yeah, today is a sad day. We're recording on the Veterans Day, observed Veterans Day, so it's kind of a bittersweet day because Nicholous, he is a veteran here, Army veteran. But
Cool.
Unfortunately today, the godfather of modern day comics and superhero movies, Mr. Stan Lee, died today. He was 95 years old. He died in, I believe, in California, in LA. I think it was survived by, his wife died in 2017, but he was survived by like $2.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this today, and it wasn't that it was tragic, because we knew, for the last few years, we've been thinking like, all right, Stan's pretty up there. It's just sooner or later it's going to happen kind of thing. And then, like, I think earlier this year, he was in the hospital for something.
Yeah, he was. And even in Venom, he was in the car instead of standing.
Yeah.
And,
So
he didn't look super healthy then, but he's in a better place now.
And he was 95 years old. So man, we can only wish to get to 95.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, once I get to like 70, I'm on borrowed time by now. Like, I just anything after this is just like, hey,
everything else is a bonus.
Exactly.
It's crazy though to imagine that, some people, no matter when they leave too soon. There's some people who just, you never expect them to go. And then there's some people who stay around for seemingly forever and are always in bad movies. Ben Affleck.
You're going to see a lot of that, ladies and gentlemen. Please continue, Nicholas.
But it seems like he was gone too soon. But what a legacy Stan Lee left. I mean, it's something that went from just, a few hundred, maybe a few million people enjoyed. Now millions of people all over the world know and enjoy the MCU. And it's like, the rebirth. Even though he's gone, I think Marvel is bigger than ever.
Oh yeah, the mouse made sure of that.
Yeah,
and I started talking about that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I think maybe unless he was able to do something else, Infinity War might be his last cameo.
Yeah.
I think it might be. I think it'll probably be in Captain Marvel, which is coming out in March.
Captain Marvel.
That's coming out in March, though.
They've already finished, or I don't know if they finished or started the filming of Black Panther. And come to think of it, I don't remember seeing him in Black Panther.
I don't think he was. That would have been real weird if he was in Wakanda, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I could have sworn when they were maybe when they were doing the high speed chase. I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Maybe
Black Panther.
You can, or you can just go to Wikipedia. They'll list every movie he's made a cameo in.
Yeah, but
you could do that.
Why do that when I can watch a movie like Black Panther? Come on.
That's true.
Except for Missing Storm, that was a perfect movie.
Well, Black Panther was made a year too soon. That was made a year too soon. But like the great thing about that was like he survived long enough to finally see, well, not on screen, but finally know that all of his all of them minus, I believe, Namor, all of them minus Namor, and I think Man Thing would be all in one universe and you'd all be seen on the same screen.
Yeah, but please don't mess up Man Thing. Don't.
They can't mess up Man Thing because I think Lionsgate owns it.
Thankfully, just let Man Thing stay where he is. He's the best where he is. Just like Cloak and Dagger.
Wow, jeez, you and this Cloak and you know what? You keep talking about Cloak and Dagger. Have you ever watched the show? I know you love the comic, but
I watched. Let's see. I suffered through episode 1 and 2, and I was actually lost because honestly, it's been so long I don't really remember the origin story of Cloak and Dagger, but I know they weren't teenagers in this weird love triangle, so I was done with that rather quick. So, I mean,
first, you could be misremembering all of it, and they could have been in a love triangle. You don't know.
I could have, but I also remember when the Ninja Turtles were, a black and white comic.
Ooh.
They were not, goofy. They were pretty dark, and it was a good comic.
The Ninja Turtles were just they were not, I wouldn't say a ripoff. How would I say this? An homage. There you go. They were an homage to Daredevil, which again was created by Stan Lee. See how it all goes back to Stan? Oh,
dude. And am I wrong in this? And correct me, anybody, if I'm wrong. But didn't Stan Lee the reason why there was a Marvel and a DC because it was actually Stan Lee and the creator of DC. They parted ways, right?
I think part way. Well, yeah, I think Stan used to work for DC, and then him and Steve Ditko, another huge icon, left, and they made who no longer with us, but they left and made what we call the first family of Marvel, the Fantastic Four. Unfortunately, he left us before we could actually see a good Fantastic Four movie. But you can't have everything.
Well, there's a reason why he was never in. I can't remember if he was in any of those, but
oh yes, he was. He was in both.
Was he? Okay.
He was in the first one. He was the doorman. He was the doorman in the first one, and in the second one, he was someone completely. I think he was a wedding guest in the second one, and was he in the third one? I don't know. I don't think he was in the third one because I don't think Fox does the cameos. Fox doesn't do the cameos, but yeah, I don't think he was in the third one. But he was definitely in the first two.
Well, the third one,
In fact, I think the first Fantastic Four was the movie that kicked off all of his cameos. I think that was his very first cameo, and ever since then, it's been like a Marvel tradition for him to be in all the movies.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that first Fantastic Four was terrible. When you can ruin Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom.
Okay, that's the second Fantastic Four, and
I don't care. They're all bad. They're all bad. It's like a big Ben Affleck cameo.
Listen.
It all
listen
together.
Listen. First off, I can't believe you're making me do this. Yes, all the Fantastic Four movies are not good movies, but I will say, you never saw the latest Fantastic Four, did you?
Yeah, I fell for it because they finally had the
dude
looking
an actual thing. But here's the thing. So I press you with this. I preface you with this, then, my friend. Which would you rather have? This is Sophie's choice.
Don't
would
do
you
this
rather?
to me.
No. Yes. Would you rather have Trash Bag as a cloak, Doctor Doom? Or would you rather have Julian McMahon, Doctor Doom? Now choose.
I don't like you.
Well, you got to choose. Yeah.
Okay. How about I get the original from the comics and someone actually puts an actor who can actually fill those shoes. So I go with the comic book Doctor Doom and just leave it at that.
No, you're not answering the question. Don't hedge your bets, Nicholas. Don't do this. Pick one. Don't do that. You're not a politician here. The election's over. No, you pick. You pick a side.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You either have Toby Kebbell, a la the Earth is dying, hence I have to destroy it to save it, because that makes sense.
Yeah, because that was
Or
very,
or
very...
or you have billionaire tycoon goes to space with the Fantastic Four because reasons, and he starts shooting out lightning. Julian McMahon. So you gotta pick one.
Oh, jeez. Let's go, just because I'm a glutton. Let's go with the billionaire Dr. Doom, who's terrible.
I thought so. Yeah, me too.
But,
I would side with Julian McMahon because, man, that Doctor Doom in Fantastic made no sense.
None of
like none.
The
None.
The Fantastic Four. It was like, first of all, even as a kid, I only liked Johnny Blaze in The Thing. Okay. I have this thing with. I guess it may be, and maybe it's just growing up as a male and seeing the women characters always fainting when they use their powers.
Yes.
So Sue Storm always got on my nerves. It was like she was completely useless. Like she would put up an invisible force field, and she could barely hold it, and then just pass out for days after. But it's just Fantastic Four when you can't get Silver Surfer right, and you can't get Doctor Doom right. Doctor Doom is like, and Reed Richards. I mean, I guess the issue is when you see somebody who fills the Iron Man role, as well as
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey. You just think that Marvel would be like, well, now you look at Iron Man and you think of Robert Downey Jr. Even if you're reading the comics.
Yes.
He fits it so well.
Yeah, wait. You're telling me the drunk, out of control actor will play a drunk, out of control billionaire? That wouldn't fit.
Exactly. He doesn't have to do a whole lot of acting. So
he didn't have to dig deep for that role.
So you look at somebody, who I think would be a very good Dr. Reed.
Ooh, okay. Now we're okay. Here we go. All right. No, wait. Stop. Wait a minute. Stop. All right. So we're gonna do this now. Infinity War's coming up. Infinity War Endgame. I think that's what we're calling it.
Right.
Look, listen. We're gonna call it right now. Thanos is gonna find a way, snap his finger again. Everyone's gonna come back, but things are gonna be different. Things are different now, and all of a sudden, the Fantastic Four are snapped into existence in this universe. So who are we casting right now as the first family of Marvel? Nicholas, go.
I would cast. Now this is going to be way off, but I want you to look at his acting chops.
Now, listen, I'm open-minded.
Bryan Cranston as Reed Richards.
Okay. All right. Okay. You explain your choice. Explain it.
Johnny Storm.
Wait. So we have Bryan Cranston, Reed Richards. Okay.
As Johnny Storm. I'd have to. I don't know all the actors. My iPad with me right now. As Johnny Storm, it would have to be. I'd say Johnny Storm has to be. This has to be a first-time actor.
Okay,
it has to be someone
an up-and-comer.
Under the radar. Someone under the radar. Maybe in a couple of action movies. The guy. Wait a minute. The guy who was in the newest Predator, the lead character. I don't know his name. If anybody knows his name, just post it.
Yeah, because it's not like we have the internet at our disposal right now. Predator. Hold on, let me look him up. The Predator. That can't. It says. Hold on. Boyd Holbrook. Hold on. So the main guy from this newest Predator. Let's see. Boyd Holbrook? Would it be Boyd Holbrook?
I think that's him. I think he's the one starring. And here's why, because his character in Predators was pretty much
now Predators or The Predator? Which one? Because there are two different movies.
No, the newest one. The
Predator. Okay, The Predator. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, The Predator. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The character that he played was very much, kind of a lone wolf, did what he wanted to do, even though he was, part of a special ops team. He was a sniper.
Okay.
But he also was very big on the team. It was that dichotomy. He's a lone wolf, but he pulls everybody, and that's kind of what Johnny Storm did.
That's what Johnny does. That's what Johnny does.
Okay. He was always out doing. He was always about the team. Let's see. The Thing. I'd like to see someone like Terry Crews, because he has that comedic timing. He's a big dude. I don't want to see another digital recreation or digital masturbation.
You would think by now they'd realize, guys, it's a happy medium.
Yeah,
you have to combine the two. You just have to.
Yeah.
You can't have all CG. You can't have all practical. You got to combine the two. Every time I've seen people with money combine the two, it is seamless. But for some reason, we still have motherfuckers going, "Oh no, it has to be all CG," or "Oh no, we have to go all practical." Like, no.
The practical was terrible.
And it's Disney, so they have no excuse of we have no money. That's bullshit. You're Disney. You print money just for fun.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. We're not having the money.
And let's see. Sue Storm, just put a mop in her place. I don't know any of the young female actors who would be really good, but you'd have to pull someone who has the same gravitas as Gal Gadot. She'd have to be able to carry, because Sue Storm was basically just kind of in the way 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to see, especially now that we've proven that people want to see a strong female character, a la Captain Marvel or Wonder Woman, which did huge. It was an awesome movie. It was well put together. There's nothing wrong with that movie at all. It have to be someone who can do that, who has a physical presence, to kind of change Sue Storm and make her, kind of an actual member of the team instead of a liability. I'm going off of what I remember reading in the comics, and she just seemed to be in the way. So if any social justice warriors get offended, too bad. In my opinion, get over it.
Okay. So, I'm going to counter with this. With Brian, wait. We said for who did we say for The Thing?
Someone like Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Okay, yeah. Okay. Terry Crews. That would be interesting. It would be an interesting casting role. The reason I say it would be an interesting casting role is twofold. First, The Thing, yes, he's jokey, has comedic timing like Terry would. It'd be great for Terry. But he also has a surliness to him.
True.
Now, does that mean that Terry can't pull it off? No, I think he could. I think he could. But you'd also have to remember, okay, so he has to have a surliness to him, and he has to have a great repertoire with Johnny.
Yeah.
Of course. Which, again, you think they're actors, they could do that. Hopefully, they could do that. With Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Storm, he's like 37. He's kind of old.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about someone like that. I don't
something
have,
like that. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I truly don't know enough about anybody in Hollywood to just be like, oh, this person would fit great. Okay. I'm looking at the archetype more than anything, and the people who I have seen pull that off. Now, is it going to make sense? Because I agree with you. Terry Crews if you look at his past roles, they're usually just all comedy, and he's not really carrying a scene. He's just in there.
No, but the thing is, but I would be okay with Terry Crews. The reason why is I've said this forever. It is easier for comedic actors to do drama than dramatic actors to do comedy.
Yeah,
so if you're saying like, oh man, he's got to do a dramatic scene, I wouldn't worry about him doing a dramatic scene. Like, all right, Terry, go do it, kind of thing. That's with the the casting with Fantastic Four, what they're going to do to bring it back and all of that. So that's just with the properties they do have. How about we talk about the property that they can't have right now, which they're trying to help, but it's just like it's like a child trying to help them cook, and they get one thing right, and they think they can cook the whole goddamn meal. Sony, hey buddy, you just came out with Venom, and I guess that's a thing. It's not like it's not like Nicholous Walker Venom or anything, It's just...
Yeah. There goes another childhood memory just spit upon. You can fill in whatever adjective you want to. We're trying to keep this family friendly.
Are we? No, I've already cussed many a time.
Okay.
No, we're not. Good. We're not. But good. Yeah.
Then they really did just shit all over Venom, and it drives me insane. It was literally the dumbest casting. Now, I'm not a casting director, and obviously there are people in Hollywood who think they're smarter than I am. But I would never, ever. I mean, does it make sense to you to just make a pie by putting the crust on top of something and calling it a pie? I mean, Ed Hardy.
Wow. Ed Hardy.
I mean, not Ed Hardy.
Huge difference between Ed and Tom.
He really did. What's his name? Tom Hardy. He played that brosive mentality, just a complete idiot.
Well, and that's he wasn't. I would say he was a bro, but he was kind of naive, kind of dumb. He wasn't a bro. Come on, he was more like, I wouldn't say bro, because bros are more like more headstrong. He was more scared and like weird about stuff.
I guess so. I would not say a bro is headstrong. He seemed like every time he talked, all I thought of was what was that stupid TV show? The dudes were always fist pumping.
You might want to it down.
Jersey Beach. He seems
Shore?
like one of the Jersey Beach guys.
No,
whatever.
He was not JWoww and what's his name? No, come on, man.
Yeah, okay.
The situation.
You're showing your knowledge in the incorrect way, sir. You have chosen
I will say this. Little aside, I will say this. I have not fully watched MTV in almost, let's see, I would say maybe, no, not 20, maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
I've not watched like MTV in 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, but who has? And
it's sad of people.
It's sad that I even know who those people are, but that's who he reminded me of. Like if you looked at that Eddie Brock, his backstory involves him going to college and walking around with suspicious liquor for his girlfriends, quote unquote. I'll leave it at that. That's all I thought.
Wait a minute. Let's stop. We can't know. Are you telling me?
Yeah.
Watching the movie Venom, you got a date rape vibe of Tom Hardy?
I got a huge date rape vibe from him because he was so. I mean, come on, man. He was just such a flippin' idiot. Oh. Like, all he did was he just chewed up scenery everywhere. Like, Eddie Brock, that was not, I mean, he was like the football star. He was an astronaut. He was not.
Was Eddie Brock an astronaut?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Correct me. I'm actually going to buy the digital Spider-Man, what was it, Series 8, to reread that whole Venom saga.
Yeah.
But, and like I said, it's been a while since I've read it.
I think there was an iteration of him that he was an astronaut. Because let's be real, he was a part of the Avengers at one time.
Yeah. So
So
he
no,
wasn't an
maybe.
idiot, but I mean, not only that, the whole thing with Venom before he became, Venom as we know him today, it was just a costume change. That's all. That's all the artists were doing was giving Spider-Man, this new costume, and it just took off from there and took on a life of its own. And the symbiotes are, first of all, there weren't like 13 of them that all landed at the same time. Venom was not a loser. He was just a psychopath.
That really took it out. That really, when I heard that, I was all like, oh.
Oh my God.
When he said like, what he said, I'm a loser on my home planet. You're a loser, so we can be losers together. Yeah. I was like, come on, guys.
I was like, that's like the bizarre world of Spider-Man, a la let's go to San Francisco.
Of all the things that you guys could, but you know what? But the reason they did that is because they messed up. You're right. They messed up Eddie from the start because Eddie and Venom, they're both alike in that Eddie did what he wanted. He didn't give a fuck. And he just, did what he wanted to do. That's what Venom wanted to do, and that's why they got together so well. So basically, you wanted both of the characters, or both of the, things, to actually have the same personalities, an excuse for them to get together. Great, that's a great idea. But you gave them the wrong personalities.
No, but it's not even that. It's not even that. They had, while you were watching the movie, when they were showing the Eddie Brock as a reporter, a hard-nosed reporter, you know what? I can take that. All right. That means that he's at the top of his field. When they first show him, he's, doing what he's
going all over the world. He's like he's
taking control.
Reporter, yeah.
He's in people's faces. And then all of a sudden he becomes this wimp almost. Yeah, it's like you could, and then they exposition well, I'm a loser and you're a loser. But he wasn't even a loser at the beginning of the movie.
He wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, we have to figure out why him and Venom get together. And he's not a psychopath. Okay, let's just say they're both losers. It's like they did it at the last minute. So they could have kept it where Eddie Brock is just this strong, hard-nosed reporter who does what he wants, and Venom is a psychopath, and it was that mindset that got them together. Mm-hmm. But don't make him a loser, and don't have the other hidden villain who you don't really even care about.
What's his name?
Villain number one. I don't even remember. I called Tom Hardy Ed Hardy. So if it wasn't for Venom, I wouldn't know anybody in that. Oh, and besides that, female Venom, really?
Well,
who by the way, well, I know that this got on some people's nerves, was probably the best part of the damn movie, and they explored it for all of 30 seconds.
Yeah. See, that would have been interesting. Okay, because we're talking about, like, they have the same attitudes. That's why they found solace in each other. It would have been interesting. Let's see how the Venom movie, where they have completely there's a complete dichotomy of personalities, and then it's just a buddy cop movie where, like, he's like he's a hard ass and she's a whip kind of thing. That would have been funny to see how they clash. Like the whole time when she became Venom. I'm sorry, guys, but spoilers. Sorry, but when she became Venom in the movie for like 30 seconds, that was funny. Because like, oh my God, she's eating some dude's head. It's like, oh God, what am I doing kind of thing. That and how she reacts to that would have been funny throughout the movie. But again, they only did that for 30 seconds. And I just, it's...
And they should... do you know how cool it would be if they just completely got rid of... So, in that forest scene, she comes... because Venom wants to save Eddie and she wants to save Eddie. If they would have just said, if Venom would have said, you know what, I like you better.
Yeah.
And maybe they grab another symbiote, one of Venom's brother, because, we're not following any part of canon. Make up shit as we go. He just gives, Eddie Brock another Venom, but they have this female Venom and her story arc takes precedence, and we can get rid of, Venom, scientific Venom #2, fake ass Lex Luthor, because that's really what he was.
He was an evil. He was an evil. I guess evil or eviler. Mark Zuckerberg is kind of what he was.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same trope: billionaire, smarter than everybody else, but secretly evil.
No.
Oh, just shut up already with that,
guys. Like, no, like if you gotta know if you're gonna do billionaire evil, he's gotta be charismatic. He's gotta be a dude saying like, dude, you're doing some fucked up stuff, but I kind of like hanging out with you.
Yeah,
you have to do that. You have to do, because if you don't do that, no one cares.
And they completely missed that. Like I said, you could have done away with that character altogether, and since it's not even in canon, it's not in a proper city. Just have 2 Venoms chewing up scenery all over San Francisco. Maybe have, who knows what. I mean, you could just add to it. It's a Mad Lib at that point. The movie is a Mad Lib.
You know what we've learned? We've learned, unless you're Disney Marvel, do not have your superhero movies in San Francisco. Because the other superhero movie that was in San Francisco that did oh so well?
Fantastic Four?
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Oh, that's right. That was so stupid. Oh.
And Gary Busey, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, that was so stupid.
Not Gary Busey. I'm sorry. It had Nick Nolte. Same different. In that movie, same different. It had Nick Nolte as his dad, who was the Elements? I don't know.
Yeah. And Hulk is one of... I like all of the weird Marvel characters. Always have, always will. But since I was little, the Hulk and the Hulk has been my dude. And I remember when they were going to release the Hulk movie, I was excited. And I remember sitting in the movie theater like, this is stupid. And I fell for it again. But Mark Ruffalo has single-handedly brought what Bruce Banner and the Hulk are. I like his Hulk character, and I wish they would just leave it alone and just pretend. I pretend that there's never been a Hulk movie up until Ragnarok.
Here's the thing: there's officially, well, unofficially, there's not been an Ang Lee Hulk. That didn't exist, but the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton kind of maybe existed. it's one of those limbo places. It's kind of like, maybe, but not really.
It took forever for us to see the Hulk. It was a whole bunch of serious exposition and scene chewing before you got to the Hulk. And then when you got to the Hulk, you were like, yeah.
Well, it's not just that. Like, they brought, no, you know what? I'm sorry. The Incredible Hulk is a part of the Marvel Universe. This is why. Because, first off, Stinger at the end of The Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark was there.
Yeah.
And if you remember in, I want to say Civil War, he's now Secretary of State Thunderbolt Ross. Remember? No, was it Civil War? I believe it was Civil War.
Now I got to watch those again.
No. Wait.
I got to watch those again.
Yes. It's either... God, yes, it's either Civil... I think it's Civil War, because I remember, they went to Avengers Tower, and it was Tony and Falcon and Black Widow were there, and Vision was there too, and Scarlet Witch, and he sat them down and said, hey guys, Sokovia, the Battle of New York, he was basically all the big battles. He's like, dude, you guys are destroying shit. We have to start registering you guys. And they're all like, nah, man, we're not doing that. But Tony's all like, well, maybe we should. And I think it was Civil War. So at that point, he was Secretary Ross.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go with you on that. But
yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a question. How did you land on Civil War? What did you think of Civil War?
You know the thing about Civil War? Civil War got a turbo boost from Batman versus Superman. And the reason Civil War got a turbo boost from Batman versus Superman was because
it was so bad.
It was, God damn it, DC. Anyways,
Terrible.
It was
An embarrassment.
No, I'm talking about Civil War. It was what.
I thought you were talking about Batman versus Superman.
No. It was everything you wanted from Batman versus Superman. It was the reason. It was everything you wanted from Batman versus Superman because if you followed, or of course if you followed, everyone's seen it. If you watched all the Marvel movies with Iron Man and Captain America, you could see the tension rising between the two, their differing thought processes. Hell,
right.
in fucking the Avengers, when they were influenced by the staff, they were about to throw down. He's like, put on the suit. He's like, oh, I don't need a suit. Put on the suit kind of thing, you know? So you could see that there was some tension going on between them, and it finally came to a head. And the reason that they actually fought in the end or whatever was a really goddamn good reason.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a reason to throw down. Like, I get it.
But here's you didn't have any of that buildup with Batman or Superman because it was just assumed that everybody got it.
No, that's not even a good assumption.
It's not.
Like,
but the movie.
If you wanted to say that,
just
like,
popped out.
If you wanted to say like
the movie just popped out.
If you wanted to say everyone got the assumption, then you'd have to go into that movie. Wait. You'd have to go into the movie with Batman. Look, listen, you couldn't save it. There's no way you could save it. You can't do it. But let's say you did still want to do a Batman versus Superman right after Man of Steel, which is dumb. But let's say you did, right? First of all, that movie would have to be 10 years in the future, right?
Right.
Second of all, you'd have to, I would say about a good third of the movie would have to be exposition of how Batman and Superman differ and how they've gotten to this point. You know, that's what you usually do with, I don't know, building a universe and having
Superman
other movies.
It was exposition followed by bad Batman acting.
Ah, jeez, here we go. At that point, when they did casting, who would you wanted as Batman, Mr. Walker? Do you want to bring back Michael Keaton?
Or
maybe we'll do some George Clooney.
Oh.
Yeah, I said
it. You're swinging for the fences right there. I got one better. Dolph Lundgren. How about we pull him out of retirement?
Was he ever Batman?
Wasn't he Batman in one of the really bad ones?
No.
I swear to God,
he was the Punisher, but he was never Batman.
Oh man, am I misremembering?
No,
I swear to you.
Here are the Batmans we've had that I can name off. Let's see.
Okay.
Adam West.
Right.
The best Batman, Kevin Conroy. We've had Michael Keaton.
Right.
We've had Val Kilmer.
That's what I'm thinking of. Val Kilmer.
I'm sorry.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer couldn't fit to the Batman suit right about now.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Val Kilmer.
No, let's not with Val.
Yeah, Val Kilmer. That maybe Dolph Lundgren would have been a better choice at that point.
Come on, man.
Because
Dolph Lundgren has a master's in chemical engineering
now. I do like Dolph Lundgren now.
He has a master's in chemical engineering. You know that?
Yeah. Like he's like a genius.
He is.
He's a Mensa level. So, but I like Dolph Lundgren. But what I'm saying is, almost any of those are better than Affleck trying to deep throat the Batman character.
First off, do not listen. I know what I'm going to say right now is sacrilege. But I got to say it. Of all the awful and horrible things that the DC universe has done to Batman, one of the few things they did get right was the voice. Let me explain. In Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy, what's his name? Oh, I forgot Christian Bale. Duh. Christian Bale looks like he's swallowing a gallon of gravel every time he talks like Batman.
Yeah,
and it was awful. It sounded awful.
terrible.
For the life of me,
But
I always let me finish. For the life of me, I always wondered, man, with all this technology Batman has, you'd think he'd have something to mask his voice. And in Batman vs Superman, they actually he actually had like a piece of tape on his throat that when he turned it off, his voice was like decoded. I was like, that makes sense. Finally, someone figured out. Yeah, Batman, let's disguise his voice type of thing. That was one of the few good things that movie.
yeah, no. That may be the best thing. But here's what I'm going to say. Christian Bale as Batman gave Batman that American Psycho edge, because that's what Batman is. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Batman
he's
is nothing more than a psychopath.
You've read Arkham Asylum, haven't you?
I have not. I have not,
dude.
and I need to
read Arkham Asylum. It is like it's like the entire time you sit to think to yourself like, this motherfucker Batman is crazy. He's just crazy not to kill people, but he's still crazy.
He's like Dexter. Dexter was a serial killer, but he only killed killers. So that's why I like
Batman.
Dexter.
And the thing is, Batman didn't kill people. He just horribly maimed people.
Well, let's be honest. He killed people. He just
not directly. Not directly.
They didn't die. They didn't die right then and there.
Exactly.
They died. They died.
True.
They died.
Or they probably wanted to die after the way he left them living the rest of their life.
Yeah, they died or were maimed. I mean, his legal bill would be huge.
But with Arkham Asylum, they actually delve into that question. Like, I think Joker tricks him to come to Arkham Asylum, and he's basically saying, "Dude, you're just as crazy as us. It's just we're in here and you're out there. That's the only difference." And just like, you read the comic, like, yeah, they're kind of right.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about it. That's why Batman, Joker, and Harley Quinn are so intertwined, because they're the same. They're the same side of the coin.
They're different sides of the same coin.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly
why as sadistic as Joker is, he'll never kill Batman.
Because
he'll never find someone as equal as him. Type of thing.
He won't kill Batman, because that's him killing himself.
Yeah.
And you look at Alfred. Alfred and Nightwing or Robin, whatever you want to call him, are the polar opposites, even though they seem like they really want to go out. But they're not really as intent on just maiming the shit out of people.
I feel that Alfred, first of all, Alfred is, what are they called? Enabling. He's enabling him.
Oh, yeah, like, he's an enabler.
Dude, not cool. But second of all, Alfred is his conscience. This is what it is.
He's just Jimmy the Cricket.
He's this mystical, magical Negro. He's what it is. And that's what Lucius Fox was. Let's be real. Lucius Fox was his mystical, magical Negro. He was. He really was. Morgan Freeman in the Dark Knight trilogy was Christian Bale's mystical, magical Negro. This motherfucker made phones that could like see and shit. Like, oh, this is a sonar phone. You can see from everywhere. Mystical, magical Negro, thank you. Made all of his shit.
but what I'm saying is, you take a Christian Bale Batman.
Yes.
And you take Affleck, and it's like remember Batman the animated series when they explored the older Batman?
Yes. Batman Beyond with Batman Beyond, or of course,
That's all I ever see is just this old Batman.
I would love to see a Batman Beyond movie. That'd be interesting.
Batman. But Christopher Bale, even with the voice, I mean, let's be honest. Christian Bale probably had the best voice, naturally, because it seemed more real. Affleck
for Batman?
Yeah, to me. Now, anybody else can disagree, but once again, they'd be wrong. But voice your opinions. But I just think that Affleck, he was so busy chewing scenery.
Just be honest with me, Nicholas. You're on the record now. Just be.
I hate Ben Affleck. If that's
okay,
I hate
thank you.
Yeah.
Like just as long as you admit that. Acceptance is and my second question to that follow-up question would be, why do you hate
Daredevil? There you go.
I think
See,
he's
I already knew
apologized.
what you were gonna
I think he's apologized for that. I think he's apologized for Daredevil. And I think since we've had Netflix's Daredevil, we've kind of pushed that aside and not talked about it. So my next question after that would be, do you hate Jennifer Garner as well?
I most certainly do.
Oh,
Elektra,
man.
yeah.
Now that was a bad one.
Elektra.
Did you see
Bullseye,
Elektra? Did you see Elektra?
Kingpin.
Wait.
How do you fuck up Kingpin?
Stop. Let's stop right now. Did you see Elektra?
Yes, I have.
Oh no!
I did not see it in theaters. I saw it on TBS.
Bro, it was so bad.
It was around that time. Daredevil.
That was a dark time for superhero movies. That was a dark time.
We had some bad Hulk movies. I was like, this will never fly.
That's a dark time, dude.
This will never fly. And
the only beacon of hope we had at that time, that was like, what was that? That was like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
The only beacon of hope we had at that time was Batman Begins and Blade 2. That's it. Yeah. Well, everything else is just like, ooh.
And Blade snuck in there because only a very few, and when I say few, out of everybody who saw the movie, I'm sure there were a handful of people in there who actually knew that Blade was in the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
So it wasn't common knowledge. So to some people, this was a brand new IP.
Yeah.
Like Blade. Yeah. Up until Blade trilogy, where we fell off the rails.
Like I said, mid 2000s, Blade 2, and I believe.
Which is on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, see it.
I think Batman Begins came out like 05 because I remember I was a freshman in college. Batman Begins came out.
Yeah.
So mid 2000s, those are the only two beacons of hope. Everything else was just like, yikes.
Yeah. There were some very, very bad times, but yeah, Jennifer Garner. But you know what? She's been in much better movies, so she's kind of no, not lately. I'm talking about after Elektra.
Man, she like
Bye. Wasn't she in Bye Bye Man?
Oh, was she? Hold on, Jennifer Garner. No, because here's the thing, Jennifer Garner had first of all, ironically, the reason why you hate them is because they probably they knew you hated them, so they combined their hate in love and got married. Because remember, Jennifer Garner used to be married to Ben Affleck. Before Ben Affleck's horrible gambling got out of hand, which it was pretty bad. That's kind of
yeah.
And
he also dated Jennifer Lopez. That was
She brought him from that J-Lo shit. And J-Lo was doing dirty shit because the minute she broke up with Ben, 2 weeks later she was married to Enrique Iglesias or whatever. So that was kind of like, what the fuck?
Look, I'm not saying that at any point in time J-Lo was a good person. It was J-Lo fell off for a
Jennifer was also born in Houston. I did not know that. Jennifer Garner born. Anyways, so let's see.
What was she?
Yeah, she was born in Houston. She was born in Houston, 72. She's 46. She's 46.
She's 46.
She's 46. She looks great. Trust me, she looks great. Okay, so Elektra. So she did the show Alias, The Kingdom. Okay. It's a lot of bad stuff. Valentine's Day, Arthur, Girls of Her Girlfriend's Past. Not very. The Odd Life of Timothy Green. Oh, Dallas Buyers Club. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So, it's not looking good. Oh no. See, here's the thing. She started doing a lot of kid-friendly, even religious movies, and I think it's because she had kids, and she's like, "Oh my god, I want my kids to watch something nice," and But then I think she realized, well, my kids, they're grown up, they'll be fine. So she started doing better stuff. So
yeah,
she did this peppermint stuff, camping. So it's been up or down, more down than up. But she was Sydney Bristow with Alias. Was pretty cool. So yeah, I can give her take Jennifer Garner. I like her Capital One commercials. They're fun.
Yeah, I think that's why I like her. Then the Capital One, that's the one thing she's done that's good. But Ben Affleck has just been.
Wait a minute now.
Wait
a minute now.
He was good in Dogma, but
that's because. Did you ever see Argo?
If he was in it, I didn't watch it. like I refused.
Just because question. So pre Daredevil, were you a Ben Affleck? I wouldn't say fan, but were you okay with Ben Affleck pre Daredevil?
Pre Daredevil, I hardly noticed him. As a matter of fact, I was watching what was that stupid horror movie he was in with Liv Tyler? I just watched it.
The Strangers?
No, it was one of those '90s horror movie tropes. They were in the
woods,
mountains of Colorado, and I don't know if it was Colorado, but that's what it reminds me of. Liv Tyler.
Was Ben Affleck? And, well, you say Liv Tyler, Ben Affleck. I'm thinking Armageddon, which come on.
No, Armageddon was a good movie.
Okay.
Armageddon was a good movie.
Was it Silent Fall?
No, I'll look at it and I'll tell you next week.
Okay.
Because I literally just watched it. I think it was either Phantoms. It was Phantoms. Yeah, and it's
you say it's Liv Tyler?
It wasn't Liv Tyler. It was the other girl. Marilyn Manson's first wife. She was in Charmed. Dark hair, real pale.
Oh, Rose McGowan?
Rose McGowan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That does make sense because, as we all know, and I think this doesn't. I wouldn't say this makes you happy, but I don't want to say you think he deserves it. But as we all know, Ben got caught up in Me Too, and he.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, and then
he looked like that
because Rose. He kind of
does,
but like Rose.
He's another dude. He's another dude you look at. If he wasn't famous and he sat next to your girl with a drink, you'd grab your girl and walk away.
That's true.
He's got that vibe. You look at him. He's a creep.
I love how Rose McGowan just called him out on his shit. Just like, wow. Just like when that shit happened. Just, oh yeah, you're right. Phantoms. Yeah. 98.
Wait, didn't Rose McGowan cut her hair?
Yeah.
Isn't she going through some things right now?
The thing about Rose McGowan is like, okay, listen. Yeah, ooh, Jesus. Okay, when you have a 5.4 on IMDb, you're a bad movie. Because IMDb is super generous.
Yeah.
They are super generous. So if they give you a 5.4, you are not a good movie. Peter O'Toole. Yeah, okay. Oh, he was a sheriff.
Yeah.
He was a sheriff.
Yeah. Peter O'Toole was. We need somebody to add some credence to this movie. Peter O'Toole, will you sit here and pretend to be in this movie?
Sure. How much does it pay? Put another 0 there, and I'll be right over. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just so like with wait, what was I saying with with the whole okay. The thing about Rose McGowan is Rose McGowan is a great example of delivery is key.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, you're saying some very pertinent things. We should all listen to you. There's so much credence in what you're saying. But you can't come out there looking like a crazy woman and say these things because we won't listen to crazy people. You have to actually come out there, say things in a set way. Second of all, get a wig because that hair's not working, and don't shave your head.
I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna give some respect to Patrice O'Neal. We miss him, but he said something so profound.
He says a lot of profound shit, dude.
Oh man, that dude is very profound. But he was talking about something just like this. He was like, just because people say things and they look crazy doesn't make it crazy.
True.
Like he said, 2 + 2 is always 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if someone tells you 2 + 2 is 4 and they tell you that with a banana in their ass and they're running around with the Daffy Duck sound, you're going to call them crazy. But that doesn't change the fact that 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
It's just 2 + 2 is 4 from a dude who's got a banana in his ass and he's running around screaming Donald Duck. And what they do, and he said what they do in Hollywood is they make people who are making sense seem crazy, or they drive them to the point of where they're crazy.
Yeah.
And like this whole Me Too movement. Now, I have my own opinions, and I don't care if you agree or not. They're my opinion.
Okay.
I think this Me Too movement is just swallowing up people without a whole lot of fact. because like you can an actress can can say something about anybody, and it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% true, and it ruins that person's career like automatically.
You know?
And then, when you find out afterwards, well, it wasn't as true as we thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it even happened to George Takei.
Yeah. I mean,
just recently.
I think the tipping point for this was when Aziz Ansari, when that story came about Aziz Ansari, and we were thinking like, dude, Aziz Ansari, there's no way he's a part of this. And then you actually read the story, and you're like, oh no, this wasn't Me Too. This was just two people being awkward when it comes to sex.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Some of these people, like who's that big dude who just, his whole career is over. His wife left him everything.
Narrow it down
just
there?
recently. Yeah.
Narrow it down. What was he in?
No, he was a producer. He's a behind the scenes
Harvey
guy.
Weinstein?
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
Harvey Weinstein, who you look at him and he seems like a complete pig.
Yeah.
He's another creeper who, if he didn't have money, he'd be in his mother's basement.
This creeper is one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you look at someone like him, and you're like, I see it. You look at someone like Aziz Ansari, and you're like, But you might be off. But he got. But what I'm saying is, where has he been since that?
What, Aziz?
Yeah.
Well, he's got that
Netflix show.
Yeah, Masters of None, and
he was
stuff.
He was Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. He's been in some movies, and he's got his own Netflix show. I don't know if they did a third season. I hope they did. That was a really good show.
I haven't seen it recently.
It's a really good show.
It was really well done.
Yeah, it was a very good show.
I think we have to be really careful, because I don't know if everybody who cries foul has actually been fouled. And I think when it gets into the court of public opinion, it's done.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be even measured, because Harvey Weinstein should be sitting next to Dr. Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Bill Cosby, his stuff is real questionable on, the truthfulness of all of the witnesses. I don't care, yell at me, hate me, whatever.
I see what you're saying, but like, it's been an industry joke for years, especially amongst comedians. Like, this stuff didn't really start to get out till what's his name? Hannibal Buress started coming out joking about it. People were laughing, but he was like, "Yeah, we're laughing, but this is serious. Like, he's been doing this kind of thing."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but here's where I get off. Here's where I take,
umbrage.
I need. It's not even umbrage. I just need a little more facts before I say, yeah, okay.
Well, here's okay. I will say this. I will ask you this. Let's say, like, all the women that accused him, right? If even one of them was completely telling the truth, isn't that enough?
Oh, that's more than enough. I don't take away from anyone who's telling the truth. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, in that time period, let's just say Studio 54, right? All of that.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah, 70s. Yeah.
Things were not. Things that they did just in the 70s would be completely unheard of today.
Yes.
So it's sort of like that whole Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson raped me. I'm coming to his house at 3:00 in the morning to discuss what? It's like I tell my daughters, if some dude calls you over his house and it's past 10:00, there's nothing you two should be doing. You know what I'm saying? There's just common sense thing. But I question it. But like you said, if one of them is telling the truth, then she deserves every bit of, apology and any type of anything to make her whole.
I don't think anything will make her whole.
No, but I'm just talking.
I see
I'm
what
just
you're
talking about
saying.
in so much.
Yeah.
In so much.
Yeah.
Because that act is disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't care who does it. It's disgusting. Period, bar none. Which is why when I talk about the whole creeper thing, I think it's disgusting. Like I said, I have daughters, but I also think that there are people who take full advantage of that situation simply for revenge or to get paid.
Yeah, understandable.
And all of that has to be taken into account, because if you say that, it happens one of two ways. You either get Kavanaugh, where that poor woman looked like a complete idiot for exposing her life, and I believe she was telling the truth, or you get Bill Cosby, where the truth is kind of you're looking at it. Yeah, you didn't really convince me, but I can see where it could happen. But what were the whole circumstances? And when you have someone like Janice Dickinson, throw her name into it, it doesn't bring a whole lot of credibility. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The Me Too movement it needs not to be taken with a grain of salt, but just like everything, it needs to be investigated 100% by individuals before they start making assumptions. Because I don't think a lot of people took time to look at actually what happened with Dr. Cosby, Aziz Ansari, any number of people, but except for Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, there's a little bit too much evidence, and I feel bad for each one of those women who had to endure that pain.
Well said. Well said. Well, we're coming up on an hour, a little bit past an hour now. So, but I want to thank you, Nicholous, for coming on to the show. If the people would like to reach you, Nicholous, how would they get a hold of you?
It's real easy. It's Nicholous, Nicholous .Walker at Instagram or on Facebook. Very easy to find me.
Sweet. And guys, like I said, this is, I guess, season 2, you would say, of the What If podcast. If you want to catch us, you can always go to YouTube, search for The What If Podcast. Just put in the search bar. I should be there. Look for a picture of a blue background and a bald, bearded black dude with a finger up. That would be me. Also, you could, if you have any questions or want to be on the show, by all means, please just email me at thewhatifpodcast@gmail.com. Also on Twitter. Go to Twitter, go to @the_whatifcast. And on Instagram, go to Instagram, add me, like me. I think I have posted in forever, but we'll see on that. And also, just give me a few weeks. This will be posted on Blog Talk Radio. We will be on Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com/ I believe The What If Podcast. And also, I think that's it. On Facebook, I guess we're on Facebook too. If you look up What If Podcast, see if I pop up there, and just join us there. So it's good to be back, guys. I'm glad I got it out there, and hopefully I'll be posting more there. So with that, yes.
One time, let's give a big Excelsior for Mr. Stan Lee. Yeah, he's going to be sorely missed. So Excelsior.
Excelsior, Mr. Lee. You've impacted billions, not millions, billions of people worldwide, and I do not know a single person that can say they were not somehow affected or impacted by something you did or something you created. So via con Dios, and we will see you and Odin in Valhalla, good sir. And with
yes, sir.
And with that, I want to wish everyone a good night. Excelsior!
Excelsior!